Now, essentials to know before you say I do. Dealing with abuse and staying married are on the front burner today on the family conversation. Once again, this is Today with John and Helen, and you are welcome. Now, if you are eager to know what tables Pharaoh Shonuga and her distinguished guests will be smashing today, you will have to wait to find out when that time is here. All I can say is you will thank me later, because Pharaoh has a guest that we all have been looking forward to hearing from and meeting John.
Yeah, of course. And Helen, there's something you wanted to share with people.
Yeah. Now, John, I went to the bank on Friday, yesterday to be precise, and I was shocked that I was charged some percentage. Now, any money you take to the bank cash, that is more than 100,000 now, you're charged 2% of it already. And this, I believe, is as a result of the announcement by the central bank governor recently that, you know, the currency, the Nigerian currency, is having a redesign. But somewhere I read yesterday, the Minister of Finance says she has no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
And so I'm worried now for us on the other end or receiving end. The government is saying we don't know what is happening. Yet we're beginning to pay. And I hear the dollar has...
Well, Helen, I don't know. You're asking me...
I'm asking you because I'm confused.
You know, Helen, I don't know why you're confused. Because we have this panic syndrome thing that worries us. If I tell you, if I make an announcement or a pronouncement here now, that there's likely to be a fuel scarcity in 4 weeks.
I bought fuel for 200.
Hang on, I'm just giving you a hypothetical.
Yes.
You know, you will immediately feel the effect right from the door. The onion seller will tell you that in 3 weeks' time, fuel price will go up. So that is what has happened in the banking hall. Now, even the announcements that were made suggests or would suggest that this would not take effect till December. So why are we all in a frenzy? It is the normal Nigerian panic syndrome that is playing out.
No, but even if people are rushing to change their monies now, why is the interest rate taking off immediately?
It is the panic syndrome of the typical Nigerian system, Helen.
And we just sit down and swallow it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Any other matter?
No matter. Apart from the floods, we haven't been able to take care of the floods. You know, last week you talked about the Third Mainland Bridge. Yeah. And I was...
You experienced it?
I experienced it, and yeah.
It's still there?
You know, if we had to shut down the bridge a couple of years ago for many months, right? Okay. And then just a few days after, the bridge is like that. So I really don't... Helen, we have a program.
Okay, we do have a program.
Yeah.
So it seems like there is really no solution in sight to a lot of these things, confusions here and there. It's such a chaotic situation, and everyone is suddenly playing God unto themselves. Now, let's move on, John, like you said. Let's move on.
Yes, we cannot give up, can we? You know, okay? So the matter for the moment, which is essentials to know before saying I do, and then staying married. Let's welcome our first guests, Mustafa Toyin Sanbe. He's a PhD holder in clinical health psychology from the Obafemi Awolowo University in Ife, with a master's degree in adolescent psychology and youth counseling. He's fondly called Ebora of Psychology. He'll tell us what that is among his colleagues. So Dr. Sanbe has worked as a teacher, a banker who was pioneer principal of IMAN, Iman College, Amuwo Odofi. Currently, he is a lecturer and counselor at the Summit University of Fa. Now, join us as we welcome to the program a foremost private practitioner of counseling services, Sanbe Memorial Counseling Clinic, and member, American Psychological Association, APA, Dr. Mustafa Toyin Sanbe. I hope I got it all right.
Very correct.
Welcome,
Thank you very
welcome
much.
to the program.
Nice
Thank you.
being here.
Thank
I'm
you.
very grateful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So let's just get to it. The intention of getting married or getting married is to stay in that relationship. How does one guarantee this before saying I do? How do you guarantee that you will stay in the marriage even while you're planning to say I do?
Thank you very much. That is what we call premarital counseling. And in the process of doing this premarital counseling, ideally there should be assessment, what we call personality assessment, which delves into the understanding of these individuals proposing to get married so that they can stay in marriage. At the backstage, I was sharing with John that I had an assessment done on a couple during the crisis sometime past. The man, in some of the items in the instrument, MMPI, the man indicated minimal interest in sexual relationship, and the wife indicated high interest in sexual relationship. So the wife had to be traveling from Lekki to Ikeja to attend the church where she can be having it generously. Okay? So had it been that such assessment had been done before the consummation of the marriage, there could have been a way to manage their thoughts or to let them appreciate what they are likely to get into, so that the foundation that will be laid will be effective for staying in marriage.
Okay.
Interest is another thing. One could be outward, another could be homely, just wanting to stay indoor. You see, this is another structural incompatibility.
That's personalities.
Personality
traits that are permanent. Okay, so all these, one could be religious, another might just be passing. But like I used to describe in public presentation, man is like fresh egg before the consummation of the marriage. Drop it, it will break.
Okay, doctor, let me jump in.
Thank you.
Because actually, Helen's question had
Yeah.
to do with guarantees.
Yes.
And that would also presuppose that the structure or the institution of marriage itself is,
Guaranteed or not
is guaranteed. Now, my question is this,
Yes.
maybe as an add-on to hers.
Okay.
Is there an ideal marriage?
Oh, well, I think that is subjective.
Is there anything like that?
That is subjective. It depends on what do you mean, because as a psychologist, I won't give you a yes or no answer. I will try to explore.
Okay, let's explore.
My exploration is, what do you mean by ideal marriage?
Yeah, where both partners are happy, they collaborate successfully, they are able to attain their goals.
Okay, can I ask further? Is that including that there won't be any misunderstanding?
No, even the tongue and the teeth quarrel every day.
Fine.
Yes.
To that extent, can you say it is ideal to you?
Doctor, you are putting me on the...
Do you understand? These are issues and dynamics.
So
ideal now will be subjective.
It's not the absence of...
It's not the absence of no friction at all. It is the capacity to manage or smoothing the rough edges without necessarily bruising either partner. And this could be engendered by effective communication. Understanding, don't forget where we were coming from, understanding the partner that you are in marriage with.
Okay.
What are the likes? What are the dislikes? Can I shock you, sir, that as little as this is the way I use my toothpaste tube,
Yeah.
really had caused disjointed relationship over time that I have seen.
So you would imagine that both partners would have defined their own ideal situation
Yes.
and would have resolved to achieve it.
Yes. And beyond that, you know that where we are today is not likely to be the way we are likely to be tomorrow, as in not tomorrow, Sunday. Okay? In other words, someone who is up and running, up and going, things going well now, it cannot guarantee
That it will
continue to be like that.
Okay.
So things can happen.
Okay.
How ready have this couple been prepared for such shocks so that they have enough shock absorber to take the
Whatever
shocks?
comes.
So that's it. Yeah.
Marriage at the end of it, you know, the nitty-gritty of it is a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Cohabiting in an environment peacefully, we hope.
That's right.
But that is just not it alone.
Sure.
In an environment such that we find ourselves, the African environment, the families are involved. When you're talking about the essentials, you know, in marriage, before you say I do,
Yeah.
how much involvement should the family unit be, like the extended family? Because we find a couple of people these days, you know, they just go on their own and they get united, even when the parents are saying, no, we're seeing some things that, you know, may not augur well for you guys at the end of it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that question. All these would have been seen during premarital counseling. There are items that are culture fear that would make the couple to respond to how much interest do you have in extended families. You'll see individuals who are about to consummate a marriage, one saying, it's going to be me and my husband. And the husband will say, I believe in family. So there will be need to bring them together to say, this is what I have seen in your response to the assessment instrument. And this is your husband's view. What is your view? What is your take? But I can tell you for free that these are hardly done in this part of the world. And more often than not, instead of us seeing what is wrong, which is the focus of the psychologist, most of us try to see who is wrong.
Yeah.
So here we are not addressing issues. Meanwhile, they were coming from the issues concern. So, and the crack will continue to become bigger as ears are listening with their own distorted perceptions coming from their own variegated backgrounds. So these are dynamics.
So the focus must never be on who, whether the husband or the wife or any member of the family,
That's right.
but on what is the issue.
What is the issue?
And what is the issue? So we are looking at the templates. Sometimes you may appear to have a template
That's right.
when you are courting, but when the reality, in fact, the day after the day,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
They will tell you that, this is your little sister,
That's
or this is your little brother, let her or
to
him
the house.
come and assist you. And that is where the beginning.
That's right. The beginning
So
begins.
the template is already.
Is already getting twisted.
Yeah.
So it will require adjustment.
Now-
And that will take us to cognitive restructuring,
Yeah.
making the couple to face the reality, as it were, which is, this is how it is now.
Yes.
What do you want to do now?
Wow.
It's also always a tough decision to
It
make.
is, but with collaborative appreciation of the fact that
Appreciation.
the goal is staying in marriage and being happy. Let me shock you with another one documented by Albert Ellis, a founder of cognitive behavioral therapy. He said there was a marital issue like that. A lady about 38 or so got married around 20-something and was thinking the marriage was getting on the low side. Yeah. And the lady walked into therapy and said her life is crashed. Ellis told her, your life has long crashed now. And the lady was shocked and said, how? How have you been living before 20 years that you got married? If your life did not crash before 20 years, why should 18 years crash 20 years? I hope you can see the issues based.
I mean, the fundamental issues.
So the lady, now, thank you.
Sorry, Helen.
Time just keeps flying, so we need to
okay,
rush.
so, I even think that the medical aspect, could you just quickly take us through that? Well, before we say I do,
yes,
right?
Yeah. These days, because compatibility and all of that, AAS and all of that, you know, what is generally advisable? It depends on the couple. Can I shock you further that there had been conscious ASAS marriage despite scientific explanation of the Pandora box? The couple still went ahead. Certain churches denied consummation of the marriage and another organization accepted to do it. So it's not sacrosanct. On top of it, all of these are still manageable. But what is important is for who is addressing these to be couple. These are dynamics that we need to address.
Let's quickly throw in religion and the issue of having children. Are they also a must talk about and sorted out before you finally take the plunge?
They are essential parts of the assessment instrument. A member or a partner could be interested in more children and another one disinterested. There could be, both of them will now see or come with the aid of the psychologist who is facilitating. Now that you see this, the health of this lady is likely to be in jeopardy because of so, and so. What do you think you can do to strike a middle way? Or, madam, you can hear what your husband-to-be is saying. Do you think you want to go ahead with this? Or what appeal can you make to him? You can excuse them to have one-on-one talk, heart to heart, and say, this is the facts. It's not as if it's babalawo stuff. Like some other people will say psychologists are babalawo or whatever, So that's the way it goes.
Right. So I don't know, but there's so much to consider.
Yes.
So much.
I have one more question. The issue of love. When young people fall in love, so to speak, a lot of things are, swept under the carpet. When you are dating and somebody probably has anger issue, or they say, let us grow together. The financial foundation of maybe the one who is supposed to be the breadwinner isn't so sure. How should intended couples go about some of these things? Finances, anger management, character, attitude, and all.
And that is why we are talking about engendering social institutions and institutionalizing counseling services, as it were. If you check the document of Nigerian policy on education, counseling is entrenched from preschool to university.
So why not in marriages?
But why are they even available? Okay, these are stages where characters will be formed, where anger will be managed and spotlighted. In the so-called advanced communities, teachers assist in spotlighting certain dark areas so that the necessary professionals will take it up and polish it before the boy becomes a man and the girl becomes a woman. So it's a dynamic thing and it's a continuous thing. Marriage is work in progress. I have had to manage a 50-year-old marriage that was to crash, where the wife, when I took them one-on-one, the husband felt I was supporting the wife, and when I took on the wife felt I was supporting the husband. So when I now brought them together, I now said, Shebi, you said I was supporting him. Yes. Shebi, you too said you see that the goal is to stay in the marriage.
One last question, quickly.
So,
they say we need to wrap up this segment
now. One last question here.
Yes, sir.
5 key steps.
Yeah. Could you just give us quickly,
Yeah.
Key steps? Just key steps in like 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah. One thing that is important is because we are Africans, we should manage to get 1 or 2 responsible elderly individuals in the 2 homes, the husband and wives involved. Okay. That is honest, thorough, and not Mama Bonvita or Baba Bonvita kind. Okay. I'm sure you can understand what I'm talking about. Who is fair, and then again, identify, go for pre-marital counseling, not being afraid of what is likely to be. Come on. Because when you are not prepared, already you are preparing to fail. These are issues. And manage resources at the start of the marriage, not blowing the wedding and not getting assured of what the few days or few months after.
That's 3, 2 more.
Then talking, communication, which is effective. By effectiveness, I mean individuals saying likes and dislikes instead of assuming that the partner should know.
No, okay, all right. Final word
then
for now.
Again, expressing love in whichever way that each person can understand. Ladies prefer reassurance. At sensitive times, just keep whispering, I love you. Publicly, show her, bring her up that I love you. That way. And the man, just as an African man, just usher respect, even in an ungodly manner, in any way that he desires it.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. This has been some confirmations. Sometimes those of us who are not professionals, we think we know, but when we hear from you, we know that we really have touched it. So we must keep at it. We must keep disseminating this very important information, because the family is really it, for us, until we break the circle of I can't take it anymore, I'm out, and all of that. Thank you again for your time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. The price to pay for ignorance, they say. Nonchalance or lack of wisdom in this matter is huge. Everyone must know what is important. I want to thank you so much, Dr. Sanbe, for being our guest on today's program. All
right, so with that over, let us take a breather with some messages. When we return, you shall meet our second guest. She's Omolara Rotimi, and she will be having a conversation with us as we try to deal with abuse in marriages. Please stay tuned.